Well, you are on Rescue TV a week after the Oscars with Harry Josh, one of the world's most famous celebrity hairstylists, a gentleman who has been credited with bringing balayage to the common parlance.
Yes, I have been.
You did. You were responsible for that incredible and very iconic hairdo that Rose Byrne rocked at the Oscars.
I was.
And here we are having a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
With the man himself.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Sydney.
I love this place, and you know what? I could live here in a heartbeat, but I'd have no jobs because there's just not enough red carpets and celebrities for me to work on here.
And let me ask you, before we get on to all of the things that people always want to grill you about,
yes,
and
sure.
we want to grill you about, have you noticed any kind of style difference between, you're based in New York, right?
New York is home, but I really divide my time between New York and LA, so it's back and forth.
So have you seen any kind of difference in the way Australian women wear their hair?
Not really. I'll tell you the difference that the lack of difference is actually quite shocking to me, because I feel like we're in such a universal global stage where things are just skyrocketed through internet and twit pics and everything instantly, so no one's really left in the dark anymore. So I feel like if something's happening, you know, in LA, in London, everything, within minutes, hours, it's a global post. So when you start to see enough of that information, you feel like the message is pretty much all the way across. It seems like long hair rules everywhere you go. So you know, women just want to have long, wavy, beachy kind of hair, and
well, you got us onto this addiction.
I did, and it's all my fault, and now I'm over it. I can't get anyone off of it.
So let's talk about red carpet hair,
Sure.
because obviously that, when you talk about global trends, the red carpet and runway tends to be where a lot of global trends emanate.
You know, it really was the mid-90s is where we started to see the shift, where all of a sudden models were no longer on covers, and it was actresses that really kind of set the pace, set the trend, really, for what's going on. Now, albeit hairdressers are inspired by the runways, I don't think that the real women are inspired by the runways. They're looking at their icons. They're looking at the people they see on TV, whether they're even a reality star. Some sad trends have, you know, popped up around the world that I don't wish would happen, just because reality stars have made these, like, you know, Snooki with her poof. I mean, you know.
And those overlong extensions.
Overlong extensions. Yeah, stripper hair. That's such, I'm so glad we're on the same page with that, because that's truly how I feel. And at the end of the day, you know, we've really kind of finally, I think, hit a mark where all of a sudden it's the return of the haircut. All of a sudden, you know, because I think what ended up happening is we had so many women all of a sudden be able to have attainable long hair. Extensions made a comeback in a way that became accessible for everyone. We saw women with, you know, long hair, women with fine hair who could have thick hair. So all of a sudden these haircuts they were forced to have, they didn't need to have anymore. So they could have that Gisele-esque hair that they all dreamed of. But now we're getting it so saturated on every level, you know, that now it's time for something new. And so now I'm trying to change the whole world again and being like, let's go back into haircuts, you know? And Rose Byrne was a great template for me to showcase that.
That was, to me, that was a really groundbreaking one and a difficult one to probably pull off. But let's talk about some of the celebrity haircut moments that you really admired. They may be things that you brought in, or they may be things friends and colleagues
There's been a bunch. I mean, like, honestly, I think Michelle Williams should never grow her hair. That's how beautiful she looks.
Yeah, she looks incredible.
I mean, anybody who can pull off hair that's an inch long and looks so gorgeous, it's like, it's amazing to me. You know, it's a true throwback to Rosemary's Baby. Right down to the color. I think her blonde is like this apricot blonde, and it just looks so beautiful. So that was really amazing to see her like that. Obviously Rose Byrne, I did that one personally, so for me it was a great, I mean, the SAG Awards when she came out in the white jumpsuit and that haircut, I mean, the Twitter sphere was blowing up. And of course my name was attached to that, so I got a billion tweets because of that, which was great, and it was really a great moment for her. And I'm thinking, you know, other times when I've seen red carpet moments where hair has really just like changed everything. There was a moment years ago where I think I'd seen, it was Tilda Swinton had come out with some kind of crazy avant-garde, like, couture hairstyle. And
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, you know, it was really avant-garde. It was very high couture, you know what I mean? And I think really when I saw it, I thought, you know what, it looks crazy. But I loved her for it, because I thought, who is that brazen and bold to walk down a cover and be like, you know what, I'm going to do it to runway style.
I want to stop you right there, because one of the things that I think women really struggle with is being high fashion and being gorgeous.
It's a very fine line. And you know, the only time we really see that fine line is because a lot of the times when we see these inspirations of when it comes to high fashion, they're on these girls that are 17 years old, and no matter what you do to them, they're beautiful.
And so, you tend to err on the side of gorgeous.
Yes, I do.
That's
I'm definitely a safe hairdresser.
Yeah.
I never risk anything on a red carpet. I never risk anything. The only time I play is when I do fashion editorial.
Okay.
And that's meant to be fantasy. You know, you're really taking that model to a whole nother place. And there's smoke and mirrors, and there's extensions and wind machines, and you know, we can do crazy things things that manipulate the hair to do things that look, you know, extra wide or, you know, really big by just flipping it all over and pinning it. But in a real runway or a real red carpet, you don't want anyone to look at that. You want them to look gorgeous and beautiful, and just, you know, something about them can be slightly askew, but I'm not into doing anything shocking. So something like, as much as I like Tilda's hair, I don't think I would have been able to be the person to do that.
And let's talk about your relationship as a celebrity hairstylist. I guess you didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to be a celebrity stylist.
It was an evolution. It was an evolution. I think definitely, I think it actually kind of happened really, again, you know, bringing back to Gisele, it was Giselle's iconic hair that really put me on the map. She had, I mean, I had been doing hair for a long time. I was friends with a lot of these girls on a social level. We knew each other from parties, through friends of friends.
And you're always friends with your hairdresser.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a very fortunate thing for me.
And they're always the cool person to know and the confidant in your life.
I think because you spend so much time in that chair. Yeah, sure. You're spending hours, you know, in that chair when you're getting ready for events and stuff like that, so you just are going to get to know them. Because you've got to talk about things, and as you talk about things, you either get along with them or you don't get along with them. And it was Giselle's hair that really put me on the map, because I think there was a lot of women in Hollywood who said, well, whoever's doing her hair is who I want for my hair. And that's how it kind of, you know, started to trickle down. And once you do one girl, then they say, oh, I love your hair, who's doing it? And then another one comes, and then another one comes, and the publicists get involved, and they're saying, okay, well, ever since you've been doing her hair, she's getting a ton of press, so we would like you to do with our young artist as well, or whoever the case may be.
And then how do you go from being a celebrity artist to being a brand ambassador? Because, I mean, I guess you would really have to evaluate all the opportunities that come your way.
They do, and I've been very fortunate. There's been tons of opportunities that have come my way in this realm of being a spokesperson for certain brands, and I am so grateful and so happy that I locked in with the brand that I did. Being with John Frieda is amazing for me for one main reason, and that's because I can make a reality for every woman possible.
I need to tell you my first John Frieda story.
Please do.
It was about, I think it was 1997. I went to Nevada to visit a friend of mine who was living in Vegas, and he had discovered frizzies because he had curly frizzy hair.
Yes.
And so I was in his bathroom and I used his frizzies, and it was like a revolution. It was like the happiest moment of my life.
You're like, my hair's drying and it's not frizzy.
And so he took me to Dwayne Reed, and I bought 12 bottles.
Yes, I believe it. But that is truly it's the innovation behind everything that John Frieda Companies makes. And it's always been the basis of what's made their whole company grow so well. And I'm so happy to be behind something like that, because obviously I have the means, and the women I work with have the means for anything they want.
Yeah.
Anything. They could cost $1 million to do their hair. They don't care. They'll do it. But for me to be able to give that advice to a woman out there who may be listening, watching, reading, or trying to emulate these women, it's attainable. And I'm like, you can have a piece of this glamour without me. And here's how you do it.
What we're going to do with you today, since we've got some of your time, is we're actually going to film a bunch of how-to and expert episodes with you, so you can keep having a little bit of Harry Josh in your life on special topics that we know that you want to know about. So tune in to all of the webisodes that we have on Rescue TV with the amazing Harry Josh, so that you can learn how to have red carpet hair at home.
Let's do it.